Hey, Grace. I guess that qualifies me as a cat lady, maybe. Uh. It is a beautiful 65 degrees here in Northwest Ohio this morning, right on my front porch. That's right. I have corn growing on my front porch. See it? Just on one half of it. And it's been really nice, actually. It's kind of buttoned into my hanging basket there, but I just love it. It's just so peaceful. This morning I was inspired just to share a little bit with you about my front porch that I share with my cats. There's the kitty condo there, and my Boston ferns are doing great this year. We're getting ready to replace our front door, so stay tuned for that info. And I've been hanging out over in this area quite a bit this summer. It's just nice and cool with that corn providing a nice little block from the August sun. And it's just a fun place to hang out and watch that corn grow. I can't believe I've got over 20 cobs on this plant here. Well, actually, there's a couple of them intertwined together. And it's reaching the top of my porch. That's some good corn there, Oliver. And it's all from letting the puppy chew on a dried corn cob in early spring. And there it is, just letting it grow. I've done nothing. Maybe put a little mulch and water it when it was dry, but it sure has been awesome. Another favorite plant on my front porch is this beautiful blue Russian sage. I had no idea what this plant was when I put it so close to my front porch, and I don't have the heart to move it because every night a little bumblebee comes up and is enjoying it while I'm sitting at the chair. So I did end up planting a nice big mass planting. Well, it's pretty big. It's a good 6, maybe 12 by 6 area with all this variety. And I'll tell you what, it is beautiful. It's very stunning. It doesn't put on the blue until later in July, early July, mid-July, but the bees are loving it. It's just a cool plant. On the corner of the porch, I had my husband build this trellis out of some old, I think it was copper tubing, like plumbing. Just welded it together, and this Don Juan rose climber has been here ever since. It didn't bloom this year, mostly because we had such a weird winter and spring, but it is pretty. The trellis is working out great. I usually add grounds from my coffee maker and crushed eggs from when I make hard-boiled eggs down around the mulch. And I put this other climber down here this year because that is a variety that does bloom throughout the season. So we'll see who wins. The other side of the trellis is this corner. It's like my holding corner where I've got plenty more perennials that I'm babying to put in and decide where I'm going to put them. But as you step off the porch here, I've added a new coral bell this year. I had an extra one, and a petunia and potato vine right in the ground next to this beautiful perennial. Last summer, I tore out one of my beds out front and added this hydrangea. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's a shorter variety, and it's doing great next to these annuals that I have in this walkway off of my front porch. Over here is one of my favorite coral bells. I love this, and I'm constantly pulling this ivy out that the people before me put in this landscape years ago. Do not add ivy to your landscape next to the house. This stuff will totally take over and choke your plants. And literally, we could just keep walking around my home here in Northwest Ohio because I have gardens in just about the entire landscape. Actually, I think it is all the way around my house. Boo would know. Right, Boo? I just can't stop. Sharing with you is like gardening. I keep going and going, and look, I always put the tropical hibiscus in containers out on my porch or sitting in the landscape. Speaking of landscape, I just added another Japanese maple just because I found it super cheap. But I added it right here in the corner of the front sunroom, along with a new variety of hydrangea. And this is a pretty one. And we'll have to share this for another video. So that's what's going on with me this morning off my front porch here in Northwest Ohio. As you can tell, I've got plenty to do today and I'm excited to dive in. So I hope to connect with you again real soon. Please be sure to leave comments or reach out to me and let me know what would you like to see from my garden. Bren, I love you, boo-boo. Shedding.